Generationally, my family has been involved with like drugs and alcohol and gangs and poverty, and so I didn't really see myself in like the typical like success story. I couldn't see myself there, and because I had experienced so much racism and being called certain names and being put down, I just didn't feel like I had a real shot. You know, I felt like my legacy was going to be to continue to do the things that my family were doing. I met my dad when he was in prison in San Quentin. That's the first time I met him. And my mom went to prison when I was about 6 years old. She did 7 years, and I just saw myself going down that same path.
So you're trying to, obviously, and you have broken the cycle. So
Yeah,
you wouldn't be sitting here with us. So we want to repeat this story, not 100 times over, but 1,000 times over, maybe tens of thousands of times over, right? Is that possible to do?
Well, pre-COVID, there was about 10 or 15 camps a year going on. During COVID, you know, a lot of kids, there was more isolation for, you know, kids. They weren't going to school, they weren't interacting. And so now we have kind of a larger problem, I think, with isolation with children and kids. And and now, post-COVID, they've only had about 4 camps this year. We need to increase that amount of camps and engagement and things like that. And so I'm asking the county to put in resources. We want to find a permanent site, and we want to put these camps on throughout the county as often as we can, get people engaged in leadership, and let people, you know, learn from each other. You know, students learning from each other. They'll listen to themselves instead of their parents. You know, and that peer, you know, value to learn from each other and say, hey, they're suffering from the, you know, the head cheerleader suffering from the same anxieties that I'm suffering from. And, you know, that kind of thing.
And this is just one layer to the onion, right? I mean, as we review gun laws and whatnot, this also has to be addressed with as much of a laser beam as the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So for kids who are watching this right now, what would you say? That's your camera. Speak right to them. I'll step out of this. What would you say to them?
Yeah, you know, actually, there's a student that's gone to camp that's sitting right behind that camera. So I'm going to talk to you. You know, there's so many things that are going on, and I know that it's difficult. And you're coming out of this pandemic, and no one made a plan for you on how to come back in. And there are opportunities for you to like build connections. There are people that want to hear your story, that want to hear what you're going through, and you're not alone. You know. We've all been sad, we've all been happy, we've all felt pain, and it's okay to share that, and it's especially okay to learn how to ask for help, how to advocate for yourself, and those are things that we teach students at Camp Lead.
You have politics in your future?
I hope not.
Good decision.
But I mean, come on, you Camp Lead, you ooze leadership. Powerful.
Thanks.
And thank you for sharing your message. Thank you for sharing your letter. And I hope we do this again when we're talking about even more camp leads being sprung up everywhere. In the meantime, powerful stuff.